Welcome to LSB Feaster's Radio Aircheck and Classic TV channel.
It's easy to win in WNBC's great $66,000 contest.
Here's a new excitement in Rockefeller Center, 66 WNBC, New York City.
NBC Radio News. Latest word from the Pentagon is that virtually all Americans now have been evacuated from South Vietnam. This is Bob Cain. An armada of over 80 U.S. helicopters has carried out the evacuation of Americans and some Vietnamese from Saigon. The operation has not been declared finished, but the Defense Department indicates it is nearly so. The evacuees are being taken to aircraft carriers and other ships in the South China Sea. Some Democrats in Congress are accusing the administration of waiting too long to begin evacuating Americans from Vietnam. Others are charging the president failed to first get the approval of Congress. To that charge, NBC's Robert McCormick reports the Republicans have an answer.
President Ford decided to evacuate thousands of South Vietnamese without waiting for specific congressional authority because he figured such action would prevent tragic conditions later in trying to get out the last of the Americans. This is the opinion of Senate Republican leader Scott, who pointed out that proper authorization for the evacuation needs only formal approval by the House to go to the president for his signature. Scott blamed the flurry of criticism of the evacuation on politics, which he said should not be injected to anything so tragic. Robert McCormick, NBC News at the Capitol.
The House is preparing to take final action on approving $327 million in evacuation and humanitarian aid for South Vietnam. More news after this.
Hi, I'm Burl Ives. You know, I've been telling you that Uncle Ben's long grain and wild rice is a wonderful way to make an ordinary meal a great meal, and to keep a great meal from becoming ordinary. That's because it's a delicious combination of Uncle Ben's rice, natural wild rice, herbs, and seasonings. It has a really distinctive taste just about every grown-up loves. But what about those everyday family meals? Well, now Uncle Ben's has a way to make them special too, with Uncle Ben's new fast-cooking long grain and wild rice. It's flavored with a delicious but milder blend of herbs and seasonings, so it has a milder taste. It cooks in just 5 minutes, so it's easy to serve anytime, with anything, chicken, hamburgers, whatever's on the family menu. So try Uncle Ben's new 5-minute fast-cooking long grain and wild rice. The whole family will love its milder taste.
When the order came to get all Americans out of Vietnam, the word spread quickly throughout the city. Derek Wilson was in Saigon reporting for the British Broadcasting Corporation.
The word to evacuate came over small walkie-talkies handed out to the leaders of pre-arranged evacuation groups. The evacuees hurried out of hotels and flats with a minimum of baggage to agreed assembly points. Some climbed the rooftops of high buildings. Others were taken in buses through streets under curfew to an American compound at the airport. Some of the buses were fired at by troops bitter at being left behind. A colleague said Marine guards at the gate of the compound used fists and rifle butts to stop hundreds of desperate Vietnamese getting in.
The BBC correspondent reports that as the evacuation order came, much of what law and order there was left in Saigon broke down. You are listening to NBC News.
In Rockefeller Center, 52 degrees and cloudy at 12:04. Cabbies at this hour are staging a demonstration around City Hall, protesting new rate hike proposals. Inside City Hall, Finance Committee Chairman Matthew Troy is working on a compromise proposal affecting the cab rates.
We've amended the proposals of Mayor Beam on the taxi cab legislation. He had made a request to raise the fees for renewal of their medallion to $200. We're only raising it to $150. We're wiping out the $100 inspection fee. There will be no charge for inspection. And we're also cutting down he had requested to raise the fee from $10 to $50 for a new license to drive a hack. We're raising it from $10 to $20.
Traffic around City Hall has not been seriously affected. However, the cabs do remain in the area. A fire continues out of control on Main Street in downtown Norwich, Connecticut. A police spokesman tells us
The house is a Main Street Cafe, which is a bar, the Urania Club, which is on the second floor, and the third floor is vacant. 2 firemen have been overcome by smoke.
officials say they cannot determine when the fire will be fully contained. Assemblyman Andrew Stein has filed a class action suit against some nursing homes, and Meredith Hollis has a report.
Stein says he's acting as the voice of all nursing home patients who are fed up with abuses but are scared to bring suit for fear of retaliation.
We're filing a lawsuit to close 47 nursing homes which are in violation of in permanent violation of the federal life and safety code. We're also seeking to get back tens of millions of dollars which has been paid to nursing homes which are in violation of the federal life safety code and are also in violation of state and county health code violations.
Stein is also seeking damages for patients in 70 proprietary nursing homes who have not received adequate care. Meredith Hollis, WNBC News at the Federal Court Building.
Some of the nursing homes named in the suit are Park Terrace, Riverside, the Congress, a Eugene Hollander property, and the Towers, owned by Bernard Bergman. The heads of the Civil Service Employees Association today are looking over a fact-finder's report calling for a 6% pay hike for state employees. That report, out today, also recommends improvements in grievance procedures as well as health insurance benefits. Proposed pay hikes will be retroactive to June 1st. Students at Lakewood High School in New Jersey walked out of classes this morning protesting a school board refusal to rehire the school's principal. Nathaniel Johnson has been principal at the school for the past 2 years, and last night the board refused to renew his contract. The students walked out of classrooms and marched to a nearby church to discuss the situation and meet with officials of the school board. The Finance Committee of the Connecticut State Legislature looking for a way to balance Governor Grasso's budget while trying not to impose any new taxes. There is less than a week left to go through $250 million of tax increase proposals as the committee considers the final package of bills to balance the $1.4 billion budget. Meanwhile, Assemblyman Richard Dice of Connecticut says there'd be no need for a tax hike if the state employees would work 40 hours a week instead of 35, and the state gets rid of what he called some sacred cows. Considerable cloudiness, breezy and cool this afternoon and again tonight. The high this afternoon, 55 to 60. Tonight's low in the mid to upper 40s. Tomorrow, considerable cloudiness, a high of 60 to 65 degrees. Right now in Rockefeller Center, it's cloudy and 52. Next news at 1, bulletins at 1. I'm Jack O'Rourke, WNBC News.
66 WNBC.